Thank you for joining us on Fresh Brew. Thank you for staying tuned. Setahun saluran berita RTM. Teguh kita menang bersama. Happy birthday saluran berita RTM.
Yes, don't forget to watch us, of course, every Sunday, 11:10. We're also on TVOK. But today we're going to be talking about something that I'm pretty sure at least you know. If you yourself don't have any allergies, you know somebody else who have allergies, be it allergic to pollen, to dust, to seafood, peanut butter, rice, milk, gluten. I can name on and on and on about things that people are allergic to. But what are actually allergies? That's the thing that we want to uncover here today. And how does one get allergies? Do you have any allergies, Terence?
I don't. None that I actually know of. None clinically. And the reason allergies are so important right now is because it also connects to the vaccine. Some individuals with severe allergies cannot be vaccinated for certain reasons. And therefore, understanding allergies really helps us understand not just the people around us, but also the limitations placed on them and how we, as people who are not allergic to anything, should go forward, take the vaccines to help protect those that obviously can't for medical reasons.
Yep. So it's actually a very scary thing if you don't know, especially if you're allergic to medicine, right? I found out a couple years ago that I'm actually allergic to certain type of painkillers.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing to find out. So every time I go for any medical checkup or anything, even for the vaccine, I have to let the authorities know so that nothing will happen to me per se. It hasn't happened, but just for precaution's sake. So we're going to have on the show Dr. Kavita, who will tell us, who will actually give us the medical term or the medical definition for allergies. So doctor, are you there? Good morning.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Thank you, Doctor, for being here. She's, of course, the head of Allergy Research Laboratory at Sunway University. Let's start with some definitions. What are allergies, really?
So allergy is an exaggerated immune response to certain substances that normally don't trigger any harmful reactions in other people. So you can, as you rightly said, things like dust mite allergens, pollen, even some food allergens can cause reactions in certain people.
Right. So I'm wondering how are certain people, like my husband, he's allergic to shellfish and I'm not. So how come is it that certain people are allergic to certain things while others aren't?
Yeah, so allergies develop because of a combination of reasons. And one of the most common combination is because of genetic reasons together with the exposure. So most people who are allergic actually have a genetic background of sensitization.
Oh.
So for example, if your parents are allergic, both parents are allergic, the child can have a 75% chance of getting allergies. If only one parent is allergic, it drops down to about 25%. And of course, not only the genetic factor, right? You also need to have the environmental trigger. For example, in the case of your husband, the shellfish to be present for him to develop the reaction.
So can these allergies actually change with time? Like if you're a kid, you're probably not allergic to them, and then when you're in your adult life, you find yourself being allergic to certain things that you never thought you were.
So most allergies develop during childhood, and it's much rarer to have, although it's possible, to have allergies that develop during adulthood. It's all to do with the sensitivity of the individual. So the genetic factors play a huge role here. And of course, if you know that you already have the genetic factors, then you would want to think of how can you minimize and how can you manage your allergies better, right? So if a parent, for example, already knows that, hey, I'm allergic, maybe my partner is allergic too, how can I protect my child? The moment you suspect any form of allergies, go and get it checked up, because managing an allergy early, managing it when the reactions are mild, will certainly help to reduce the reaction, will certainly help to manage it so that it doesn't develop into something more severe.
Right.
And also, if you know what you're allergic to, you can avoid the trigger. Avoidance is really the best way to avoid allergies.
Yeah.
Like in the case of your husband avoiding shellfish.
Sometimes he does. Sometimes he is stubborn. Sometimes, so he will like for example, he accidentally eats a prawn. It's not that bad, right? But so for every single individual, I would say that our allergic reaction is different. Like I'm allergic to dust. I'm allergic to even cold air. So I will start to, I don't know how to describe it, but I can't breathe. That's what happens to me. But with certain people, with certain allergies, they probably will swell up. They'll develop rashes. So what are some of the common effects of a person who is facing an allergy? What are some of the common reactions?
Yeah, so the common allergic conditions like you mentioned, in Malaysia, you can say the most common ones are allergic rhinitis, where you have like runny nose, itchy eyes, asthma. Asthma is pretty common as well. There's difficulty breathing, wheezing, atopic dermatitis when it affects the skin. They have skin rash, uncontrollable itch, forming scars eventually, and also food allergies, like in the case of your husband, that you mentioned, allergic to shellfish. So people are allergic to different triggers, and depending on where that reaction happens, whether it happens in the airway, or happens on the skin, or happens in the gut, then the manifestation or the symptoms can differ.
So managing these allergies, are they always medical in nature? And what are the common medicines used to manage allergies?
Managing allergies, to manage it effectively, first you need to know what is the trigger. So for this, you need to go and see a specialist, and they can do some simple tests, either a blood test or a skin test, to find out what is actually triggering you. Once you know what is triggering you, then you can take steps to prevent or reduce exposure. So if you find out it's dust mites, for example, you would want to reduce the number of carpets in the house. You would want to use upholstery that you can wipe down, having covers for your mattresses, for your pillows, etc., and wash your bedding in high temperature water. If you find out that the trigger is a pet, you may either want to give the pet away, or keep the pet outdoors and wash your hands every time you have contact with the pet.
Oh, I remember this.
So on and so forth. So then medication, of course, depends on the severity of your reaction. For milder reactions, steroid-based medication and antihistamines can already control the symptoms. So for rhinitis, you can have sprays. For asthma, there are these reliever inhalers and preventer inhalers. For food allergy, for the moment, is mostly avoiding the triggering foods. Sometimes food allergic individuals get mild reactions, so you can control that with antihistamines. But at other times, you could get very, very severe reactions from food especially, and this is called anaphylaxis. And anaphylaxis can actually cause death. So one must know the symptoms and how to treat it very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think most people who are anaphylactic, they carry EpiPens, right? So that
That's
whenever
right.
they do have allergic reaction, it's immediate. I wouldn't have to go to the hospital as much. But I actually want to know, so like I said earlier, I found out a couple of years back that I'm allergic to a certain type of painkiller, where the painkiller actually didn't make me feel better, it actually made me more sick. So I actually want to know, in correlation to people who are allergic to certain medicine, how does it affect them when they want to go for the vaccine? And what should they inform the doctors, or should they go to their regular doctors before they take the vaccine, before they sign up for the vaccine? Any advice?
Yeah. So I presume that you're talking about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, COVID-19 vaccine.
Because that's like the most popular topic right now. So if you're allergic especially to drugs, the ground rule is, yes, please go and see your specialists to get the recommendation from them. In the case of COVID-19 vaccines, most studies have already shown and demonstrated that the allergies are not towards the active ingredient inside the vaccine, but rather to the additives that they put in the vaccine to prolong shelf life, etc. So these additives are polyethylene glycol and polysorbate 80, which have quite similar structures to each other. Polyethylene glycol can be found in mRNA vaccines. So, for example, the Pfizer vaccine. And the other compound, polysorbate, can be found in AstraZeneca vaccine as well as the Janssen vaccine. So if you are allergic to either of these components, just avoid these vaccines. But there are other vaccine options available. Right now, there are so many vaccines out there, and a number has been approved by the NPRA in Malaysia. So for example, the Sinovac vaccine does not have either ingredient. So that could be a safer option. But definitely discuss these matters with your doctor, because they know you better, they know your allergic condition, as well as any other comorbidities that you may have, and they are able to give you the best advice. Having said that, it's not all doom and gloom, because most anaphylactic reactions, even when they occur within 15 minutes of the immunization. They occur, they're quite fast reacting, these anaphylaxis. And the current protocol that allows you to be observed for 30 minutes post-vaccination would be already suitable to identify and treat, if necessary, any of these adverse effects. And in fact, so far, all the people who have had anaphylaxis, and I repeat, it is rare, it is very rare. There's only about 10 cases for every million vaccine doses administered. So none of these people have died because of the COVID-19 vaccine. Everyone's reaction have been able to be managed effectively, and they have, received the proper medical care that they require. So there is, in essence, no adverse effects from taking a COVID-19 vaccine. Go ahead and take it. But if you have anaphylaxis towards injected drugs, anaphylaxis reaction towards food, latex, venom, then please get some medical advice from your allergist. If you only have mild and moderate reactions, for example, you're allergic to dust mites, or you're allergic to pollen, and it just makes you sniffle, then really there should not be any worry about taking the COVID-19 vaccine.
So far,
indeed, the benefit really outweighs the risk in this case.
Absolutely. So far, doctor, there are no people who are allergic to other people, right?
That's debatable.
Just checking.
All right. So once again, Doc, any advice to our audiences who, again, one last word, right, before we go, advice to our audience who have allergies, who are probably, spiraling right now after hearing all of your, advice and all of you clarified just now. Can you tell them any advice, before taking the vaccine? Where should they go see the doctor? Who should they see? And any wishes for our Saluran Berita RTM as well?
All right. Just generally, if you are allergic and you want to take the COVID-19 vaccine, and if you're not sure, maybe you have other questions which are quite personal to you because you may have other comorbidities, see your regular doctor, general practitioner, or if you're already seeing an allergy specialist, please go, pay them a visit. They can help to ease your mind, put your mind at ease, and put all your medical worries to ease before you get your vaccination. Right. But definitely, I would urge every one of you out there, all the viewers, please go and get vaccinated, because it it definitely saves lives.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Doctor, for
COVID-19 is no joke. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor, for joining us. It's been a pleasure speaking to you and understanding allergies better. Truly a pleasure having you on the program. And on that note, everyone, thank you for joining us on Fresh Brew. It's been a pleasure talking to you and celebrating the 1 year of Saluran Berita RTM.
Yes, if you guys want to, send your well wishes as well, you guys can do it. Shout it out over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're also on TikTok. Tag us freshbrew_RTM. Until then, it's been such a fun day with you guys, talking to Mr. Carlos, talking to Dr. Kavita. If you guys have any other topics as well you guys want to suggest, tag us, social media. We are there. Go.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.